Hello everybody and welcome back to Little Miss Pink's Creativity Time. That's where Little Miss, my little mini me, picks one stamp set and one Stampin' Up color, and I have to create using her rules, I guess, or using her selections. That's the probably better way to say it. My name is Tatiana. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in Australia, and we have had some exciting times with new pre-order. Our stuff arrived yesterday, and so we're looking forward, well, I'm looking forward to seeing what Little Miss selects for today's video. Morning, Krista, joining us again. Thank you so much. So I'm going to flip to the table and take my glasses off, and come on, Little Miss. My eyes are closed. Okay. Ooh la la. We have, ooh, shaded spruce. Interesting. That's going to be a challenge. And, oh, growth takes time. So this stamp set is part of the online exclusive. So you won't find this in any catalogue, but you'll find it in my online store. And it is a pretty stamp set. What shall I do? You've stumped me with this colour though.
Leaves.
Yes. Green. I suppose. Okay, I know, we're going to do some heat embossing.
Heat embossing?
Heat embossing.
We need the heat tool then.
Yes, we will need the heat tool. Oh, look at that, we have a crumb cake. I'm going to do crumb cake. Crumb cake, card base. There we go. And excellent. So that one's pre-cut and pre-scored for me conveniently.
What colour are we going to do?
I'm going to heat emboss in white, please. There's my boon folder. I don't know, does it say white on the side? Then yes, thank you very much, my dear. Can you find the embossing buddy too, please? Let's use the older one. Okay, now I'm going to cut this to 9.5. Let's go till 9 centimeters, and that will make it to 13.35 centimeters. And that is also crumb cake, like that. So we've got crumb cake on crumb cake. I'm going to stamp. Actually, it probably would make more sense to stamp the big one there. The little one there. And the itty bitty one.
Oh, that's cool. I like it.
There, and that's growth takes time. I like that. Let's see. Let's use the Stamparatus. Just so that we can position these and stamp them all at once. These are quite, oh, that's all right, that one. Trying to use up my grid paper. I was not able to buy some more Stamparatus grid paper, so I'm being conservative. What I'm going to do to make it easier for the magnet, I'm going to flip that around.
How's that easier?
Because the magnet, which is on the back, on the bottom, has a tail, so it's easier because now the magnet can sit there. I put the foam mat, but I don't need the foam mat because it's a red rubber stamp set.
Would it make it look weird with the foam mat?
No, it just would make it harder to stamp. There, perfect. I am pleased with that. I need Versamark ink, please, my dear. I'm just adding some embossing buddy because that prevents the embossing powder from sticking where you don't want it to stick.
Isn't it in the drawer with
So what did I ask you for?
the
Versamark is ink. Let's use the other one. know if I should be dropping, but I did. Okay, so I'm off camera there. So I'm inking up my stamps in Versamark ink. And we can use my new glider from Crafty Bits and Bobs in Canberra. It just helps me press the stamp down. And I think we need a little bit more ink. Oops. Seriously, I am dropping so many things today.
Got it.
You got it? Thank you, my dear.
Can I rub it down?
No, just let me do it.
Okay.
That was the one that mainly needed. Perfect. And now this is the white embossing powder. And now I'm really, I don't know, lazy might not be the word, but I know I have a spoon there and I could be spooning this over, but I tend to just dip my cardstock into.
It's kind of quicker as well.
Yeah, I think it is quicker and slightly less messier. So there we go. We have the white embossing powder. Now there's some where I don't want it to be. Let's cover up the ink pad and that. You can close this and put that to the side. And put the trimmer away. Ooh, doesn't matter. And now we can do the magic. Oh, before we magic heat, there they are.
Oh yes,
The tweezers.
The first tweezers.
So that we can hold. Now I'm right-handed and I prefer to hold my cardstock in my right hand when heat embossing. I don't know why. Actually, no, that's not true. I prefer to hold it in my left hand. There we go. That's better. Couldn't remember what hand I hold it. So just give it. So we just give it a moment to start heating, and then you'll see the magic happen. There we go. You can start. I don't know. Yep, the camera is picking it up. You can see the magic.
And a little seedling.
And a little seed. There we go. That's all done. And now I am going to use the water painter
Water painter.
and crumb cake ink. So I've got crumb cake. Actually, no, I'm not going to use crumb cake. I'm going to use soft suede.
Yay, soft suede.
Okay, so I'm using soft suede ink and I'm just pressing the back of the ink pad so that some ink is in the base of the ink pad, and that will allow me to pick it up, and I can use the base of the ink pad as a bit of a palette. And we're going to, probably should start with the seedling. More ink. There we go. And what I love about it being heat embossed, it kind of creates these grooves.
So it's harder to like get out.
Well, you can still definitely get out of the lines, but the water kind of sits in there. I don't know if that's ever going to pick up quite right, but the water kind of sits in the grooves of the... So you can definitely still go out of the lines if you wanted a more loose coloured look. But it does sit within there, so it makes it easier when you're colouring two different colours and they won't bleed into each other, the different sections, which is pretty cool.
I like the big tree.
You like the big tree? I do too. Gotta say, you had me stumped when I saw the green colour. I wasn't sure where we were going with that. Little Miss always picks a colour that would go well with the stamp set. Now the trunk I feel is too light on the little one. I'm just going over it.
What about the baby seat as well?
Yep. As it dried, it got a bit lighter. So there we go. You can see we've added some colour. I'm pleased with that. So now I'm going to wipe. So here's my tip. I don't like to waste paper towels if I don't have to. So I use my chamois, which is reusable and washable. So I'm just squeezing my water out until it goes clear and wiping it on my chamois. So there is nothing to throw out. I've got shaded spruce already here, so I just need to reactivate the ink a bit. Kind of dried up, and now we're going to use that
to paint the leaves.
To colour the leaves. I am going out of the lines here a bit, not on purpose, but it's just such a detailed stamp, but that's okay. I am loving that combo. Let's bring it up closer so you guys can see. How cool is that? That's working. So crumb cake's a nice neutral base, and you can still watercolor and it still shows up deep colors. So I wouldn't use pastels. Yes, that's right, Krista. So the heat embossing is almost, how do I describe it? It's raised, and it is, thank you, Tracy. It is, it's plasticky, I guess, for a lack of a better word. And so that's right, the ink does not stick to it. Sometimes the ink, if you're blending ink, so with a blender, you know, one of those makeup brushes, the blender brush, it will kind of look like it's stuck to but because it's water-based ink, you just wipe it off. So anything that goes on top of the heat embossing doesn't stay permanently. You just wipe it off, and that means that you've got the color left behind, which is very cool. I hope I explained that well. Great, thanks, Krista. There we go. I do really like this stamp set. I have not been able to find many samples on Pinterest. So I'm really glad you picked this, my dear, so we can share it. Just adding some extra colour to some of the leaves. Not to all of them. I'm just very random and selective. By adding some darker ones, it just gives it that variation. You know, when you look at trees, they don't all look exactly the same. So if I bring that up, you can see that. Now, to take this just a little bit to the next step, we're going to add some shadowing. So I will use the crumb cake ink pad. Just going to wash this one. I'm running out of water. Here we go. Oh no, let's just swap brushes. I'll clean that later. And I've got this one, and I'm going to grab the crumb cake ink pad this time. And I've got a little bit of ink there, that should be enough. I'm just going to, so I'm about to put crumb cake ink on crumb cake cardstock. And it's just to create a little bit of a shadow. Maybe I needed a bit more crumb cake ink. So I'm going across the bottom. Actually, what we could do is create like a
ground.
Some soil, yes, a ground. So that seedling is a little bit higher than we would normally plant.
Seedling.
But that's okay. And this will, as it dries, it'll get a bit lighter. It just gives that a bit of extra detail and we'll make it pop just that little bit more. Yeah. Can you see that?
The subtitles are frozen.
You sure?
Yeah, they've been like that for at least 5 minutes now.
I hope there is sound coming through. Yep, there is sound coming through. I cannot control the subtitles. Hopefully they will fix up. So it looks like I've done a lot there, but most of that is just water. So as that dries, it won't be as obvious. So I'm going to, actually, no, because there's water there, I don't want to press the E-pad in. Here's crumb cake ink, just 1 drop. Don't need a huge amount. I'm just going to use the darker one to add some extra shadowing.
That looks so cool.
Thank you, my dear.
Would you like to get into it?
After the live. There we go. And now we need a sentiment. And I was going to go with Growth Takes Time.
Yeah.
Because...
That's the name of the set. And you kind of like, it starts with a seed and goes
yes,
bigger and bigger.
exactly. And we're going to put it there, but we're going to do white heat emboss that on some black cardstock. Basic black. And then fussy cut it out. Look at that.
It's slightly hot here.
Yes, it is still slightly hot because
You used it.
I used it and it hasn't cooled down yet.
But that's right.
Embossing buddy first, particularly on black.
Tweezers.
Nope, the tweezers are on the desk already. Versamark ink. And, oh, don't forget to put the powder on. I almost started heating.
That would be funny if you did start it.
I almost did. My hand went.
What happens if you do that?
It just sets the Versamark ink, and then you won't stick to any, no embossing powder will stick to the Versamark ink. There we go. Now,
Tweezers.
tweezers. And the magic once again. And I think I'd like to put some ribbon or twine behind. Twine? Krista, no, I just found a piece of scrap that would be fit. A little bit bigger than what the sentiment is good. Just simply gives you place to hold and it's easier to handle. It can be a bit more frugal than that. Like I could have probably cut that in half and got 2 sentiments out of that. But it was just an extra step to do and I just wanted to get it done. I thought, you know, and then also because I'm about to fussy cut this, having the extra piece or like the extra sides is actually a little bit helpful for fussy cutting. So I don't know how much fussy cutting you've done in the past, but having something to hold is handy. And then when you do fussy cut, you will get better results when you move the cardstock instead of your scissors around the sentiment or whatever you're...
open and close the scissors slowly.
Yes. So the scissors are only going up, or open and slowly closing. And I'm using my left hand, because I'm right-handed, to move the cardstock around. So having a little bit of extra cardstock helps initially, but eventually you're not going to have that extra cardstock because you're cutting. it all off. And then if you're having trouble, snip that bit off. Snip it off and then keep going. There's nothing to say you can't do that.
No, doesn't make extra waste or anything.
Well, it's the same amount of waste,
Yeah.
but it makes it easier if you're having trouble moving it. There we go.
Well, not perfect, but good.
Not perfect. Not perfect.
Nothing's perfect.
Oh, I was actually thinking some
Practice makes progress. Not
practice
perfect.
makes progress. I do like that you say that these days. We need an insert as well. So growth takes time.
I think
And I
inside you should stamp a little seed.
The middle one.
The
Oh,
seed.
the little seed.
Yeah.
I was going to do the big tree inside.
Really?
Yes,
Wouldn't that take up a lot of space?
it's okay. So I'm thinking the silver twine.
Yes.
Well, not twine, what is this? This is the Simply Elegant Trim. It comes in gold and silver, and look that there. I have some silver already cut.
Voila.
Oh, those are too small, so we'll have to. But first, let's grab a cardstock. Oh, I can't use any of these
Why?
because they've all got holes in them.
Oh no.
I'll have to cut. Normally I have pre-cut pieces of basic white for my card inserts. But today I have run out. I need to do some more bulk cutting. So I like to cut my inserts at 10 centimeters and 14.35. There we go.
So how do you do 14.35?
You put the cardstock between 14.3 and 14.4
5. Oh, 4.
because 3.5 is halfway between 3 and 4. And I'm going to grab, no, I wanted the big tree. So I'm going to grab the big tree
What size?
block, I think a D. Oh, that one, that's an E, sorry.
Yeah, the D would be too small.
And we'll use crumb cake ink just to tie in the front. Now I didn't clean this because it only had Versamark, so you can put a stamp from Versamark into your ink pad and nothing really happens. What you can do if you want to color emboss is you ink it first in Versamark and then ink it in your color and then stamp it and then put clear embossing powder, and that will give you a colored embossing. I need an envelope.
Yes, you do. You can't go away without an envelope.
And we'll just do the same tree on the front.
It looks like there's glitter on it.
It's got some embossing powder. Though you should be careful because this is how you get embossing powder into your ink pad. I don't know if that's showing up. I've got tiny little dots.
It doesn't look like it's showing up too much.
No,
Oh, just a teensy bit.
there. Oh, I know. Oh no, I've only got like 3 of them. I was going to say we should use the brass butterflies.
Oh, you only have like 3 of them left.
Yep.
No?
Need to buy some more. Okay, so let's here. Oh, I'm a bit stubborn, trying to get the most out of I can out of this glue.
Once you've stuck that on, it's not finished.
Nope, and I'm going to put this on with dimensionals.
And you need some more glue so you get some wiggle room.
Yes.
Are you going to add embellishments?
Don't know, we'll see. We shall see. Let's one step at a time, my dear.
Okay.
Let's not rush the process. We're not going anywhere today.
Or are
Oh.
we?
No, we're not.
I'm going into the house today.
You're in the house.
I'm going to go outside so then I can re-enter that house.
Okay, but you have been outside already. You can go outside again. I'm not stopping you. There we go. So by placing that on dimensionals, you can see the shadow around it. It just makes it pop and sit up. And growth takes time, which we'll put there. And I'm going to grab some tearing tape. So I'm going to grab it and tear it about the size, well, just smaller than the sentiment, and place it behind where the sentiment would be.
Then use your snippers to lift off the
They're
backing.
not snippers, they're snips.
Snips, snips.
So yes, I've used the snips just to pick up the backing paper, and now I'm going to stick the trim. Yes, a bit random. Stick the trim to the tear tape. So that's how I hold the trim down. And I think that's heaps. So now where are my paper snips? And then add some more dimensionals. And because this is black, I'm going to add black ones.
I like the black ones. They look cool with the grey backing.
It's not grey backing, it's white backing.
Oh,
It just looks grey because you
yeah.
can see. It is, what I do like about the black ones is you can easily see which ones you've taken the backing off.
Yes, because it doesn't have the white backing. They look cool.
There. Growth takes time. Do we need some bling? I know what we can do.
Wink of Stella.
Yes, some Wink of Stella. Let's do a splattering of Wink of Stella. Let's see, this one. Don't think that one will splatter for us.
No, I think that one will. I think
Yes,
that
this one. Well, there we go.
There's a big one dot just
There. That's all right. There. I think that just adds.
that would be funny if that big dot landed on right in the seed.
That would be funny. So there we go. Growth takes time. Isn't that a beautiful reminder for anyone, for all of us really, that it takes time to grow and develop and grow into what you, who and what you're meant to be. So what do you think, my dear? Has that passed the
Test?
not the test? Does pass the challenge?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Any thumbs up?
Yeah.
There's the camera. Thumbs up. Let's flip. So there we go. Thank you so much for joining us. Little Miss will be back at school next week, so it'll just be me for creativity time. 10 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. What will I create? I have no idea. I normally just work on the go. Oh, thanks, Ira. I didn't realize you were watching. So thanks so much for joining. And Krista, thank you for joining me again. Remember that there's last chance products available now. I'll put the link to my online store in the video description. And the new catalogue. So place an order this month and I'll send you a catalogue. So if you place an order this week, I will send you a catalogue, the new annual catalogue. I can show you the front cover. Where'd it go?
Not inside.
There it is. It is inside. Haha. Can't show you the inside, but yes, if you place an order, so all customers who have purchased from me in the last 6 months will get a catalogue. Thank you so much for joining me, and bye for now.